So you're thinking of making the move to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, palm trees, low cost of living, beautiful women, and maybe a second chance at life. But before you book that ticket, I've got a few things to tell you. And if you're a single guy thinking of starting over out here, you'll want to hear all of it. You've heard all the YouTubers, watched the TikToks, foraged on the Instagram feeds, and now you're convinced, utterly convinced, that your salvation lies somewhere between the girl bars of Bangkok and the single moms of Saigon. You're not alone. Thousands of men, mostly Western, mostly single, are booking one-way tickets to Southeast Asia, thinking they've cracked the code. They think they found the promised land, where the cost of living is low, the women are friendly, and sunsets are conveniently located just outside your $300 a month apartment. But what if I told you most of what you're seeing online is a carefully curated illusion? A lie. Not a complete lie. Just the kind that leaves out the uncomfortable details, the ones that matter. I'd like to tell you what the influencers won't. It's called the truth. So consider this your Southeast Asian survival guide, not for digital delusionists or 50-year-olds about to turn 25, for real men, grown men who would like to see this part of the world for what it really is. It's one that doesn't care about you as much as you thought it did. Let's begin, shall we? Okay, the white elephant in the room, dating. Yes, women here are generally more feminine, more family-oriented, open to dating older men. But don't confuse kindness for romantic interest. Don't think you're Prince Charming just because you landed in Phnom Penh with a passport from a more privileged country. A lot of guys fall into this savior complex trap. The Western warrior here to save the Southeast Asian damsel in distress. They rush into relationships with women they've only known for a week. And sometimes they get burned, really burned, emotionally and financially. It happens a lot. Take your time, learn the culture, learn the language. And for God's sake, do not lead with your wallet. You're a transaction, a foreigner, a farang. In the Thai language, farang loosely translates as walking ATM with a funny accent. You think she loves you for your personality? Maybe. Could be your black card and your bank account. You ever think of that? I'm not saying that all relationships here are fake. What I am saying is that most new arrivals lose their fucking mind figuring it out. This isn't eat, pray, love. It's pay, please leave. We're about to close. Influencers love to tell you how accepted they are, how much the locals love them. Sure, if you smile, tip well, and don't act like an idiot, you'll be tolerated, but you will never be one of them. Every country in Southeast Asia has unspoken rules. In Thailand, insult the royal family and go to jail. In Vietnam, raise your voice in public and see what happens. And in Cambodia, don't think your tuk-tuk driver is your new best friend. He's not. It's called working. You can forge real relationships here. I have, but in my experience, you've got to F around and find out. Coming from the States, where everyone gave me the Seattle freeze when I said hello, it's intoxicating to be in a place where people smile at you. They seem interested. They seem open. But as a pragmatist, a probabilistic thinker, high percentage they want to pick your pockets. Don't get caught off guard is all I'm saying. Offense is your best defense. It all starts in acceptance of where you are. You are not in Kansas anymore. You're in a state called survival. So play the game. Participate. You've seen the content. Drone shots of beaches, co-working with cold brew on tap. I've shown you some of it. And for the most part, it's not a facade. It's amazing how these developing countries have arrived at Western hospitality standards for next to nothing prices right next to the beach. But what's behind the scenes? Power outages, broken sidewalks, internet speeds that sometimes feel like 1997 AOL. Oh, and rats. Big rats. Don't get me wrong. You can build a perfectly functional life here. I have. But if you expect Western infrastructure in a developing country, you're going to have a meltdown. And nobody wants to see a grown man kicking and screaming in a cafe because of a slow result on speedtest.net. The Instagram influencers, the life coaches laying on the beach in Bali, they usually don't talk about this, the visa problem. Welcome to your new full-time job. Getting a long-term visa in Southeast Asia is like trying to download common sense from Congress. It's nearly impossible and constantly changing. Thailand, they've invented a new form of paperwork purgatory that makes the DMV look like Disneyland. Vietnam, get familiar with frustration. Cambodia's long-term visas are a bit easier to get if you don't mind being in a legal gray area. And the Philippines, I hope you like waiting in line. Some of you, maybe many of you, are thinking about settling down here. And if you are thinking long-term, look into retirement visas, business visas, education visas, and don't totally rely on YouTube or Reddit threads. Current comments and videos are a fine place to start, but do your own homework and get real, up-to-date information from immigration or a trusted travel agent. Plenty of guys totally disregard the visa and get swept up in their degenerate hotels at the end of December by Vietnamese immigration. They don't show you this on YouTube. I haven't. It's a topic I've personally tackled, and I'd like to keep it in my past. You come out here for freedom, escape, peace, and you might get it. But you also get something else: silence. Eventually, the novelty wears off. The beach becomes a bunch of sand. So sad with nobody to see it with. Then it's just you, alone. Drinking a tiger beer at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning? What's wrong with you? Make friends here. Learn the language. Get into something. Or you'll go back. Not because you want to, but because you couldn't stand your own company. Contrary to what you might have heard, no, you won't die on the dirt floor of a clinic while a donkey watches. In fact, Thailand and the Philippines have some of the best private hospitals in the region. Clean, professional, affordable. But guess what? You still need insurance or cash or a translator. You can't just fall off the back of your motorbike and hope for the best. You're not 22 anymore. Get expat insurance. Know where the hospitals are. Have a strategy, or don't, and find out what medical evacuation really means. More importantly, and much more necessary to say to try to save anyone listening to this, stay fit. Too many guys come here and live off of street food, cigarettes, and cheap beer. Cost of living? It's called Marlboro's Masaman curry and making foreign funeral arrangements. Let me be brutally honest. You can learn the language, marry a local, even open a business. But you'll never be Thai or Viet or Khmer or Filipino. You are and always will be the foreigner, the outsider. They don't want you here to fix anything. You're not here to be the star of the show. And that's totally okay. But only if you act like a guest, if you respect the culture, if you don't walk around like you own the place just because you can afford beer and a balcony. This isn't your frat house, so try not to piss on the floor like you did at UCSB. So, should you move to Southeast Asia? If you're looking for peace, a fresh start, and a more human way of life, maybe yes. But if you're coming here to live out some influencer's fantasy, if your plans were made last minute with a mail order bride, a long-distance relationship, you're losing your grip on reality. Stay home. Live in the world of Facebook friends, OnlyFans, and get-rich-quick videos. For the rest of us, the serious ones, this place offers something far better than fantasy. It offers perspective, a chance to slow down, to reset. So if you are ready to leave the West behind and start over out here, I only suggest that you do it with your eyes wide open. Before you board that plane, don't bother to pack that privileged, principled morality you learned growing up in Peoria. In Southeast Asia, that's not a plus. I honestly really do like it out here. I really do. And I think you might too. but for the right reasons. I'll see you guys in the next one.